R2 detonates first game back with the Cosmos after an injury.
Picking up lead jammer for the Cosmos wearing blue.
Stevie Nixer in red, not far behind her.
Elle comes into the pack, she hits a wall of red. She'll only pick up 1 point as she's forced to call off the jam.
I love watching Stevie Nixer out there with the Jam Star on. She is crazy, and I'm into it.
The more you know about my Maggie. On the jammer line for the Cosmos, number 88, Hardcore!
We got some hardcore fans out here, let her hear it! And 914, the Gun Show. Two very strong jammers out there.
Pretty quick pass to start off the jam. The defenses are going back and forth. Around the outside, it's going to be Hardcore with the lead jammer for the Cosmos.
Some amazing path work by Koopa Troopa and Space Invader at the front holds Gun Show, even though it looked like she was going to get lead. Hardcore coming into pass.
Hardcore is going to pick up 4 more points for the Cosmos. They're on the board for 4 points, and the Pissahs still held at 0 after 2 jams in this game. Jackie KO, I apologize, fans, will take the jam line for the Cosmos.
Apology not necessary, Skid. We got Truant for the Wicked Pissahs.
I made you mad earlier. I'm going to apologize for everything.
I accept that. Amazing offensive clear from Baby Rock out there. Gets Truant lead jammer. Jackie KO not too far behind her. A little jammer on jammer racing action here as they enter the pack.
Jackie KO takes the forward position as they come around turns 1 and 2. Truant forced to call off the jam.
Love to see that hustle from non-lead jammers, putting the pressure on the lead jammers.
As a jammer, your best bet for scoring points is to be the first jammer to the pack. So if you're the lead jammer and the other jammer is going to reach before you, it's very wise to call off the jam, as you saw Truant do. Stevie Nixer wearing the star for the Pissahs. Her opponent is Space Invader for the Cosmos.
Space Invader, a massacre level jammer. Seen her at the divisional Wolfsburg tournament a couple times. But Stevie Nixer, like I said, I love that crazy girl out there with lead jammer.
It is a jammer race. We have a very spread out pack, and just as I say that, they pack up, close the gap. It's going to be 2 and 2 after a great effort by both of those jammers in the final seconds of the jam.
Looks like Nixer was going for 4, didn't quite make it.
Oh, hey guys. Oh, there it is. Okay, now we got the third mic. That's a little bit better. Looks like Gun Show.
Welcome back to the game,
statement with wearing Elle. A little cool jam.
Elle with a move to the outside, picks up lead for the Cosmos. Gun Show still stuck in traffic behind those blue shirts.
And that is Coops, who just slams Gun Show to the ground. She's going to bring her all the way back. That Tears for Fearsome who's doing the pullback.
Cosmos lost a blocker there, BA to the box.
That is most likely going to be a low block, no call. Gunn still working on getting out of that pack. She is not lead jammer. We'll have a little bit to say about that in a second. So interestingly enough, I don't believe the Guns could have been lead jammer there. You can see she had her star panning on it inside out. You can't see any stars on top of her helmet. Can't score without a helmet cover on.
So even if she's passing players from the other team, cannot get points if the referees cannot see the stars.
From the jammer line to this next jam, we've got Truant in red, Jackie KO in blue. Cosmos holding on to a small early lead, 5 minutes into this game.
Got both the Pissahs captains out there, Amalia Fender and Estefina Davis. Excellent track generals, both of them. Let's see what they can do with this pack.
We've got a pretty quick pack, but some really great defense from both teams. Jackie KO breaks through the red wall, picks up lead jammer for the Cosmos.
Amazing footwork from Truant, working her way around those Space Invader long legs.
And interestingly, that move was a very Space Invader type move, using her hands for the shake-off.
It's going to be 4-0 on the last lap.
And it's number 88, Hardcore. I did my best accent there. It wasn't very good, I'm sorry.
No, it was all right. It was okay. I'll allow it.
It's a work in progress.
The accent was spot on. You don't have to be as gravelly and loud as me. Not everybody can be as loud as Captain Skid.
Stevie Nixer versus Hardcore. They skate against each other a couple times a week on the travel team.
That was some fantastic jammer on jammer offense slash defense right after the whistle. Steven Nixer, though, unfortunately called on a backlog penalty, will take a seat, giving Hardcore the power jam for the Cosmos.
Hardcore is not a jammer you want to see in a power jam against you. She will rack up those points and see if the Pissahs can hold her back.
Like Hardcore there, inverting her skates on the outside, using her hands for balance. This is a move that, you'll see it here again, it's a move that a lot of our skaters never use. They've really adopted it this year. Very effective to do that little hand check at the jammer.
Hardcore is a skater who's been known for her strength, incredibly strong to push right through a wall, but you're seeing more and more lateral movement from her. Very, very impressive from a Massacre rookie.
Hardcore picks up another 4. Stevie Nixer out in the penalty box, now coming into the pack. I believe that's going to count as her initial pass. Hardcore on her third scoring pass picks up 4. That's going to give her a total of 13 points on the jam.
Cosmos cracking this one open early. See if the Pissahs can shift the momentum. They're going to need a shift quick.
Box is clear this time around. We've got LL Cool Jam and the Gun Show. 2 members of what we like to call the United Nations. You can see their pictures online. They're pretty cute.
Who are the other 2 members, Michael?
You can see a lot of pictures and information online on BostonDerbyDames.com. Pictures, schedules, info, and more. Oh, the wonders of the World Wide Web. That's going to be the Gun Show coming out with a lead jammer in favor of the Pissahs.
That's Guns doing what Guns does best, which is just to go straight power through that path. Use her strength to push right through.
That voice you hear cutting through the chaos is Johnny Cash Machine. It echoes, that voice. And it works. Got a nice clean call from the Pissah Jammer.
Johnny.
I always respect a man in a bow tie. I don't know what it is.
I can't hate. I can't. I want to, but I can't.
It's Truant versus Jackie KO. This is starting with 1 skater in the box. That's an erotic tendency. Probably a clockwise block, track cut. Look what Truant's doing there. Truant looking like Senora Slaughter, just getting up on those toe stops, keeping her feet moving.
Gotta love a jammer who can get lead even when her blockers are at a deficit. She's going for points.
Both jammers crash into the back of the pack. It's going to be a 0-0 jam.
It's big for the Cosmos. Got to celebrate that one. That is a brick wall right in the back.
Cosmos holding on to a lead 30-2. Pissahs unable to really do any damage to the scoreboard. Now, over 8 minutes into this game, Amy Rock taking the jammer line for the Pissahs.
Baby Rock. Good God, she's just warping. Nestor. And she'll go right by. Look at the footwork on Baby Rock.
Wow! Baby Rock essentially unstoppable. Love to see her with the star when she's not playing my team. Nana Nestor looking to score.
Shayna Nestor channeling Shayna Nestor 2011 with the Jammer style. You don't see this very often anymore.
Rock picks up 4 points, calls the jam. Might have been a little too late. Cosmonaughties picked up 3 before the final whistle.
Love that hustle from a non-lead jammer, Nana Nestor, picking that up.
LL Cool Jam at the Gun Show, lining up on the jammer line for this next jam, according to the scoreboard, is jam number 10.
Guns again just trying to push right through. It looks like she's going to have success. Guns putting pressure on the back of that wall to open up vertical space for her to find a way through. Vertical space creates horizontal space.
3-0 in favor of the Pissahs on that jam.
This one looks relatively evenly matched to me, Mango. What do you think? It looks like maybe just one jam for the Cosmos that really let them open up some points.
I like these two teams against each other. You know, you've got a lot of rookies on the Pissahs, but they're a hungry team. A lot of them know that the Pissahs are a dynasty, and they're looking towards the Fez this year. Cosmos, still Fezless, the only team in BDD to have not won the Fez. If there's a hungrier team than the Pissahs, it's gotta be the Cosmos.
Hardcore pushing her way out in the front. She'll pick up lead jammer for the Cosmonaughties. Stevie Nicks is still stuck in traffic at the elevator doors. Celia Casket, the last blocker to let her go.
Pissahs lose a blocker to the penalty box. They'll be starting this next one 3-4.
And you'll see Stevie Nixer take that exact line many times tonight. When she gets that right shoulder inside of a blocker, you're just not going to be able to put her out of bounds. As soon as she's able to squeeze in there, she's going to go right by on the inside line. Keep your eyes open for it.
Truant pulling a lot of weight in the Pissah jammer rotation today, having some success. Usually seeing her in the blocker packs. I like what I'm seeing from her in the jammer rotation though.
Archer DJ trying to set a screen on Baby Rock there, but Rock won't go anywhere.
It's like you're between a rock and a hard place.
Truant out in front with the big L in the sky from Jam Ref U++. Truant tries to take the outside line, gets knocked out of bounds. Finds an opening to the inside, picks up 5 for the Pissahs.
Look at this lateral movement by the Pissahs wall, just in and out, in and out. Jackie KO escapes from what was a very tough Pissahs blocking wall.
Truant not only getting lead in a deficit for her team, getting the jammer lap point. Very disciplined call off there.
Might have been just a touch too late. We'll see if the Cosmos pick any up. Cosmos get 1 on that last pass.
Thanks to Truant, the Pissahs are in the double digits now. Space Invader on the line, you see her jamming a lot for the Massacre. She's one of those flex players you'll love to see. Can play both sides of the jammer line. Let's see what she's got here.
Space Invader. Space.
Gun Show right behind her. Both those skaters have incredibly powerful legs. A little bit of jammer racing in the back.
Space Invader with a huge jump on the inside. She will be called on a penalty.
A beautiful jump, but unfortunately made contact with an opposing skater. Sent her to the box on a misconduct call.
Thank you, Mango. I couldn't see the hand signal from the refs from here.
It's a very shameful hand signal. Really is go there.
Leave my presence.
I'm mad at you. I gotta tell you though, I'm not mad at Space for that attempted Apex jump. That's what makes roller derby exciting, is taking shots like that.
This could be the opportunity that the Pissahs have wanted Dunn's putting up 5 points each pass due to the jammer penalty.
Guncho fighting 3 Cosmos. Trying to get out of that pack. Dirty Water, Koopa Troop, and Jana Nestor doing a great job holding back Guncho. Nestor really showing off what roller derby is supposed to be played like.
This is going to be a 2-minute jam, folks. Space Invader lost her lead jammer status when she went to the box, so we're going lap for lap here.
Space looks absolutely unstoppable right now.
5 and 4 in the sky, say the jam refs. That is the points earned by each jammer. Space around the outside. She picks up 5 more as she passes the Guncho.
Could Space Invader make it look any easier? Could she? I don't think she could. So much grace in that skater.
Space, she really is. She's one of the best to watch when she's in rhythm. So smooth, so silky, changes the direction. She skates a lot like Flying King. Of course, she's about 1.5 feet taller. But in terms of the changes of the direction, the way that she moves her feet, the way she inverts, and her explosiveness, 2 very fun skaters to watch. Space probably a little more explosive than King.
I'm gonna have to fan myself after watching Space Invader jam like that. Stevie Nixer versus LL Cool Jam for the Cosmos.
Nixer knocked to the inside boundary. Forced to come around She-Bear. There's going to be LL Cool Jam picking up the lead jammer for the Cosmos. She goes flying around the track now through.
Absolutely punished by Frenchie there.
LL Cool Jam picked up the 5 points on that pass. Nixer with a big collision. She-Bear involved again. Koopa Troopa holding back Stevie Nixer.
Nixer is a jammer after my own heart. Not afraid of contact. She'll move a blocker out of her way.
Look at this, what a genius star pass. Estrogina Davis calls for it. Nixer puts it right over the top.
When your captain says, give me the star, you don't argue.
Well, that's also the advantage of being 2 of the tallest players on the track.
Going right over the top, so nice. Tango, you are right, Nixer never shies from contact. In fact,
I think she thrives off of it, actually.
Druid jamming again for the Pissahs. For the Cosmos, wearing the star is going to be Hardcore.
Both these
sounds
teams.
like Hardcore's brother at the time. That is most certainly a Hardcore family member. Give him the Hardcore chance.
Hardcore from the outside to the inside, now fighting a couple of Pissahs. She's let go, lead jammer for Hardcore. Give it up for her.
Pissahs lose Evan Slack to the penalty box.
Hardcore's going to catch him off guard here, yep. Pissahs didn't see her coming at all. Pissahs much better set up on this pass. They will get a touch.
Hardcore weaving in and out of traffic. She looks like she's going to make it around all of the Pissahs blockers. And 4 points for Hardcore. Pissahs now on the scoreboard at 35. Cosmos ahead of them with 73. Under 12 minutes left to play in the first half.
28-73. This is the first time we're seeing She-Bear, we like to call her She-Bee, on this side of the jammer line, taking on Estrogina Davis. We saw her with the pass earlier, but she hasn't started on this side of the jammer line. What do you think?
We'll see how deep the Pissahs go into that jammer rotation tonight. They typically go very, very deep historically. 8, 9 jammers. Probably going to see almost everyone. There is a success play by jump by Space.
If there's any way to win roller derby, it's by going 8 or 9 deep. Estrogina Davis picks up the lead jammer back around the track and through the back.
Oh, Estrogina.
Catches Space Invaders sleeping on the outside.
Miss Mary Snack doing what she's been doing for about 9 years now, putting people on the ground.
Gina called on a back block penalty. She'll take a seat in the no-no box.
A little bit of bad luck there for Gina. She came in a little bit too hot. She's having a really good jam. See if she can settle in the box and come right back out. Is that ever been slapped up there? Yeah, where did that hook slap come from, Mangle? Is she Vermont?
Vermont.
She-Bear makes it through that pack with some effort for 5 points for the Cosmos.
And here we go.
She-Bear passes to Star to Space Invader.
My heart's racing faster. Space Invader with that star on her helmet.
Space Invader puts the star on before she goes through the pack. She'll pick up 4 as she clears all the red blockers.
Amazing track awareness from Trooper Cooper. Takes herself out with that hit on Estrogina Davis, though.
Whoa,
Haven't been slapped. This is a big opportunity. Space Invader clears for another 5.
That's how good Space is. The Pissahs saw her coming, thought they had a perfect catch again. Saw her coming, had it perfectly lined up, and Space somehow finds a hole.
Space Invader trying to invade the space of the Pissahs defense right now. That is the 2-minute conclusion of that jam. It is 5-2 on the last lap.
Props to the Cosmo defense. Amazing recycling. Kept, leaving the pack there towards the end.
You know what I love is this Cosmos mascot just gets better every year.
He's evolving.
Blinking lights. Technology is a wonderful thing, especially in outer space. Looks like we're gonna Cosmonaughties up 94 to the Pissahs 45. Just over 9 minutes left to play in this first half.
And you'll remember that the Nutcrackers had an almost identical lead to end their first half, and the the Horrors came rolling back on them, so this is not safe.
Keep talking about that game, Justin. That doesn't hurt for me at all.
Stevie Nixer and LL Cool Jam both fighting traffic. LL Cool Jam out in front, declared lead jammer.
It is going to be a backblock call on Stevie Nixer. It's a very close call as to who initiated that contact. E++ sends her through the box for a backblock.
Mangle's just going to sit here and stare at Nixer's rule for a little while as LL Cool Jam comes flying into the pack, weaving through Pissahs defense. 5 more points added to the blue side of the scoreboard.
Nestor.
Yeah, Nestor just causing trouble for Neurotic, but Neurotic does escape, gets herself in position to make a play. Cosmos continuing to rack it up against the Pissahs here.
Cosmos frees Stevie Nixer in the box here. Should be starting his jam in the box.
Stevie Nixer coolly and calmly asks Guns to exit the track so that she can be the jammer. Don't want to have 2 of them out there. This is hardcore in the jammer line for the Cosmonaughties. This is a backwards bridge by the Cosmos. You see what Nixer has to do here. He's going to drag her all the way back.
This kind of bridging made famous by the London Roller Girls. Cosmos doing an excellent implementation. Stevie Nixer out. She is not your lead jammer.
What a play by Eva and Slap to open it up for Stevie Nixer.
Hardcore makes it out in front. 5 points.
It's going to be a track cut major. Excuse me, a track cut.
Hardcore on the power jam now for the Cosmos.
Not what the Pissahs need right now, but it's sure what the Cosmos would like. Power jam is the Cosmos' favorite.
Oh, it's the Chupacabra, sending 2 out there. Usually they just send 1, we call it Cobra.
Amazing outside hit from Estrogina Davis. Forcing Hardcore to call it, making the best of a bad situation. I've got deja vu here. Stevie Nixer standing in the box to start her jam again.
And you can see the referees discussing that track cut call. They agreed that they got that correct, and they're going to leave Nixer in the box for a couple more seconds.
Cosmos with a commanding lead of 120 to 48. 6 minutes left to play in the first half.
R2 detonate, some kind of sign language signal on the track there. Plan seems to be working for him.
R2, really one of the most cerebral players in roller derby. Runs the wildly popular roller derby jockey squad. Watches more bout footage than probably everybody else in the world combined.
She is also the bench manager for the MRDA team Maelstrom.
She coaches our C team, training and rec team as well. She does it all.
She just can't stop. She eats, sleeps, and plays roller derby.
Mixer still got legs, even though it's her third straight jam. Still moving along.
Neurotic, giving Jackie KO the business as the butt, what we call the back of that green wall.
And the Pissahs break a long run of Cosmonaughties points there to get a little bit of the momentum back. I think that was like 40 or 50 O's from the Cosmo.
Oh, hey Goose, how you doing?
Both jammers looking for an opening in that pack. Gun Show and Space Invader. Looks like Gun Show's gonna win. Lead jammer for red.
Baby Roth making up a big part of that Pissah wall. Holding back that old cool jam. But she is out and she is not your lead jammer. Gun Show looking to score.
Guns will catch them all. She was winning with 4 points there. Johnny Cash Machine chooses to run this jam. He believes in his pack. He thinks he can get a stop.
This is a strategy known as long points. If you believe the opposing jammer is not going to score as many points as your jammer over the long term, you're going to run it in hopes of a 10-4 versus a 4-0, putting up more points than your opposing jammer can score against you.
Of course, it carries significant risk, which you're about to see right here.
Did not quite work out in the Pissahs' favor that time around. Gun Show calls it.
See a track cut being called right at the end of that jam. It's neurotic tendency.
You know, we were talking about R2 Detonate being a cerebral player, but I would say neurotic tendency would give her the run for her money. She's also a very smart player, and she knows it over there with the thumbs up. Love to have her on offense when she's on my team with travel teams.
Another jammer matchup with the jammer lines, Truett and Hardcore.
Truett, Mango, you called it earlier. Truett is playing great tonight. Really moving her feet.
Well, watch her when she's going through the pack and she's facing defense. Her feet do not stop moving. She is constantly looking for an opening, and she found one in this jam, picking up lead jammer for the Pissahs.
She's definitely gotten lead jammer at least 50% of the time. And not afraid to make contact with Space Invader there. Gotta admire that. Picked up 3 points, didn't quite pick up Space Invader's points.
Space Invader is deceptively strong. You see how skinny she is, but when she flexes those guns.
I think she has a body fat percentage of like -1%.
Yeah, really.
And an awesome percentage of like 110%.
More or less.
Stevie Nixer and Jackie KO from the jammer line. Under 2.5 minutes left to play in the first half.
We've got Team Heckle here in turn 3.
Apparently loves Mango's dress, don't we all? On the track, we're missing the little action here from the Pissahs. That first pass, great squeeze inside on Jackie KO. Great job by Jackie KO. That could have turned disastrous very quickly. She got herself right out with no help.
Nixer stuck in the middle of the pack on her first scoring pass, only able to pick up 3. Story of the Pissahs game right now is 65 to 129. Just unable to get that big jam they need against the Cosmos.
This could be the jam that they're looking for. Big jam calls for test. Well, like I was saying, a big jam calls for a big jam. We got Baby Rock out there versus number 6 Celia Casket.
Rock choosing to use a power approach here. Last time she bounced around a little. Oh, look at this here. Look at Rock.
Rock powers her way through the pack, picks up lead jammer for the Pissahs. Celia Casket only now getting to the front of the pack, still behind a red blocker.
That has ever been slapped. She's been doing some great blocking in the front of the pack. She needs a partner up there, though, where it's just a matter of time.
Amazing front of the pack work from Evan Slack, showing her veteran status. Maybe not with the Boston Derby Dames, but she's been playing Derby for a number of years.
Rock a full lap ahead of Celia Casket with the 5 points.
Johnny Cash Machine was looking for that big jam, but decided to end it early. Discretion, the better part of caution. Better part of valor. Discretion is the better part of valor.
Yes, I agree. Looks like we're going to have time for one more jam to close out the first half. It's going to be Truant and Hardcore from the Jammer line once again.
Relatively empty penalty box for the Cosmonaughties this half. It's been a big difference in the game. We'll check out the penalties during halftime and give them to you, but it's got to be 2-1 because of penalties.
Compared to the first game, it has been a very empty penalty box in general.
Absolutely. It does seem like these teams are playing a little cleaner. This game looks a lot tighter than the first game did.
That is a good point. The first game being much tighter with a lot more lead changes. Might have been a little bit more aggression out there on the track, I would. We've got Stevie Nicks and LL Cool Jam.
And the Pissahs right away driving L out of bounds, but L quick recovery, and she will be lead jammer. Nixer, crazy as always, coming in, and she's going to pick up. Nixer will pick up 3 points. How many did L get?
That was like a baseball slide through the pack.
Risky maneuver paid off for her though with a 3-2 in the Wicked Pissahs' favor.
On the Jammer line, we got the Gun Show and Hardcore.
Hardcore having a great game tonight. That is great news for the Cosmos, and it is also great news for the Boston Massacre, who will be traveling to Charleston, Virginia in a few weeks. Excuse me, West Virginia.
Not Virginia, West Virginia.
If only it was Virginia.
The little Virginia.
Hardcore out for lead. Gun Show chasing her down.
Oh, there's Hardcore. It's a good two-step by Hardcore. Got to keep working on that move. She will need it against some of the best teams in the country. Boston will face the Philly Roller Girls in the first round of the tournament.
I'm fairly convinced that Hardcore gets all of her power and strength from the way I say her name.
I believe that's accurate.
I think it's fair.
I'd like to take credit for most of these girls' skills, actually.
I take credit for everything that Mangle has ever done, so you can take credit for Hardcore's accomplishments.
Not wrong.
Ruin, look at that! Sends Celia Casket to the ground and shoots the 5-hole right away.
I can't take credit for that.
As Regina Davis returning to the pack, looking to place an O for Truant. Celia chasing down the pack.
Truant really making a case for MVP early in this game.
2-1 in favor of the Pissahs there. They'll take any jam advantage that they can take at this point.
Baby Rock appears to be applying some sort of good honey that's Molly Fender.
They're both very large blockers.
True.
LL Cool Jam, Stevie Nicks and the Jammer line meet once again.
The Pissahs will definitely need Stevie Nicks to heat up in this second half. She's one of the keys to their team. And Elle just finds space right around the outside. Nixer takes her preferred inside line.
LL Cool Jam, which picks up speed. One of the most beautiful skaters in the Boston Derby Dames. Just see that hair flowing behind her, calling it off. Amazing defensive strategy right there.
I hear Team Hempel has relocated.
I can't hang out Baby Rock and Baby Hardcore hugging on the Jammer line. Warms my heart, warms my cold, cold heart.
Gotta say, I'm a little disappointed. I thought Hardcore was more hardcore than that. I didn't think she had that in her to hug an opposing team.
Come on, Hardcore! You can do it!
Sometimes encore. That's
Yeah.
okay.
That is until the whistle blows.
Baby Rock, again, get around. Is that her third lead jammer?
Gotta love the skater form from Baby Rock right there. She's a tall woman, but she gets low and makes it work for her.
Estrogena Davis looking to open a hole, and it does work.
Rock with some great agility and footwork working through that pack.
A cut sending Evan Slap to the box. This will be another one in favor of the Cosmos.
And I did have a chance to look at those penalties at halftime, Mangle. At halftime, the Cosmos had gone to the box 4 times, the Wicked Pissahs had gone 9 times. More importantly, the Pissahs had gone 4 times as a jammer, and the Cosmos had only gone once. The whole difference in the game.
That can definitely account for the point difference.
Celia Casket ends the gun show. Wearing the star, gun show picks up lead jammer for the Pissahs. Celia Casket jumps off a block from Stevie Nixer. She's out of the pack as well.
Amazing cap from Nana Nestor on the inside line, holding back Molly Offender. Gun show calls it off at the front of the pack.
And that was Stevie Nixer manufacturing those points. She opened that hole, drove a Cosmos skater right over the inside line, make it real easy for her jammer. Jammers love those offensive clears on scoring passes. There's nothing worse than coming up to a wall of 4 that hasn't been disrupted at all. It's very hard to score against a pack that is ready, and it is very easy to score against a pack that is off balance.
R2 Detonate going for an offensive clear on the jammer line. Doesn't quite make it. Rejoins her wall to give the truant jammer a little bit of trouble in the front of the pack.
Oh, Full Jam gets knocked out of bounds, recycled all the way to the back of the pack, now taken down, coming into turn number 2. She's going to have to come in behind Molly O'Fender as Truant is at the front of the pack, facing those Cosmos blockers.
And Truant just lays an invert to waste, putting Argentina on the ground.
LL Cool Jam takes almost a full lap to fight for lead jammer. Truant getting sent to the box on a trap cut. Not what the Pissahs need right now.
Hello, Full Jam gets around Lionheart, picks up the 5 for the Cosmos. Pissahs have a jammer and 1 blocker in the penalty box. LL Full Jam coming up into a small pack.
Oh, that is.
Ooh, ever been slapped? Have you ever been blocked by ever been slapped? So much work there at the front of the pack. Amazing run back.
So many things going on in that play at once. Slap shakes off the Cobra, then gets the touch, then drives L out of bounds. Unbelievable.
Looks like we're going to have an official review called by Johnny Cash.
And they will retain another official review. Johnny Cash Machine, he does it again. Look at Nestor and R2. R2 back after a very long hiatus. Doesn't appear to have missed much of a beat.
Love the footwork from R2 Detonate. You know, she runs that Roller Derby Junkies blog, and just her study of the game shows.
Wow, Nixon, that is a play. Oh, does she think she has to go back? It's so close here.
Nixon playing the conservative game, running it back.
I'm not sure I'd call that conservative.
No.
Nearly picks up a track cut on their way back in.
Nixer already has lead jammer status, is now through the pack. This will be her scoring pass as she comes through. It will be good. It is a good pass. 5 points picked up by Stevie Nixer.
You beautiful demon, you.
Oh my
Stevie
God.
Nixer.
Where is David Morris? Please tell me you got that. Please tell me you got that picture.
Nixer redeeming her frequent flyer miles on that one.
A round of applause for Stevie Nixer's Apex jump, everyone.
And Mixer, of course, woke up this morning, ate a big slice of humble pie, as always. Won't even acknowledge the crowd. Get off your face, Cash Machine.
Very thorough explanation by head ref Testosterone Jeremy. There was contact between the jammer, Stevie Nixer, and the blocker, R2D today, but it was deemed that the contact was initiated by the blocker and will not be a penalty.
Thank you very much.
That is dropped, just touches out of bounds. That's unfortunate.
Oops, Baby Rock headed to the penalty box on a cut.
She got up on those toe stops, almost got out, just stepped out of bounds. But the Pissahs are doing a good job of killing already.
Amazing defensive work from Everman Slat and Estrogina Davis at the front of the pack. Both of these skaters travel team members, and it shows.
Slat's gonna pick up multiplayer. That's a good call. They were definitely linked up there for a little while. Got away with a little something. Oh, that's a good shake-off by Celia Cassidy. You see her do that hand check again. We've seen it over and over again tonight, how effective that is to balance yourself with just a little quick hand check. It's not a penalty. You got to do a little more than that to pick up a forearm penalty.
Cosmos looking to freeze Baby Rock in the box. Didn't quite work out in their favor. Celia Cassidy, though, picking up a grand slam 5 points.
Celia Cassidy, a familiar face for those from my neck of the woods out in Central Mass. Skated out that way for a long time before coming out here to Boston.
A familiar matchup on our side of the jammer line. We got Hardcore and Gun Show using her power in what we like to call the can opener to make her way to the front of the pack. But you can't mess around with Space Invader. She's got that beautiful run back.
Very nearly out. Just had to be one of the toughest ones. It's not easy.
All the way to turn 2. Hardcore is your lead jammer.
Gun Show held up by Koopa Troopa and Space Invader as Hardcore comes barreling into the pack. She makes it off Estrogina Davis. Ed's been slapped now in on the action. Hardcore's going to clear the pack. No! And yes, that's 5 points for Hardcore.
Wow, the Cosmos look tough right now. Cosmos look like they're playing with 6 blockers. They were cycling so fast.
Gun Show is out, not your lead jammer, but she's looking to put some pressure on Hardcore, who's at the front of the pack. Big call out from Hardcore, that's 4 points.
This has been a much closer half of roller derby jam to jam than the first half. Wicked Pissahs fell way behind early on in the game. Still kind of feeling the effects on that, but now both of these teams are going toe to toe.
The first half for the Cosmos and the Pissahs, the Cosmos are about -40, but this half they're about -10, much closer.
Pissahs still struggling with penalties though. I'm not sure Cosmo has gone to the penalty box in the second half. We've had 4 or 5 from the Pissahs. Cosmo's on their way to the cleanest game maybe in Boston history. They keep it under 10 penalties. It will certainly be the cleanest game in the history of the league.
Justin, I did check the penalty board when I was in the middle of the track. When I was out there, it was 13 penalties red and 5 penalties blue.
So the Cosmos have picked up 1 in the second half, and now we have 2. So they have gone 6 times.
I'm sorry, Koopa Troopa, we jinxed you talking about the Cosmo penalties.
Hammer Race coming around to the pack. LL Cool Jam first.
Stevie Nicks are making contact on the inside.
We got Nestor and R2. They got a long history together, playing quite some time together, probably 2.5 years.
LL Cool Jam will pick up 4 points, but it's going to be 3 picked up
A very rare jam where we're starting with a Cosmo deficit here. Koopa Troopa in the box.
On the sidelines here, Testosterone Jeremy was giving a little bit of a scolding to the Cosmos and Pissahs A managers, telling them stay behind those barriers. You're getting in our referees' ways. I have to admit, a lot of us have been there. It's hard not to get right up on the track as an A manager.
Jacket KO and Truitt from the jammer line. Truitt comes out, picks up the lead jammer. Jacket KO is a quarter lap behind. Truitt will be the first jammer to come around and hit the pack. Outside lane, she picks up the 4 for the red team. That will bring them.
Looking happy with that play. Johnny Cash Machine also looking very pleased with the Pissahs pack out there.
Wicked Pissahs have now broken 100 points as the Cosmonaughties sit at 167. Over 17 minutes left to play in the game.
It's going to take a couple of pieces to fall the right way for the Pissahs. but it can come together here. It definitely could come together.
R2 Detonate looking some kind of sneaky in the back of the pack here.
The real key for the Pissahs here is going to be they're going to have to lock down some Cosmos jammers, get them tired, and screw up their rotation. But Hardcore won't have any of it. Hardcore can go right out here.
Hardcore gets around a good effort by Estrogina Davis. Picks up lead jammer for the Cosmos. Gun Show now out of the pack.
Oh, and look at the Cosmos trying to create points, but got a shake off by Gina. Like, ooh, Hardcore.
Hardcore, she's outside, she's inside, she picks up those points. 4 points for Hardcore.
Got a couple of words about that late hit too. She's still yapping at U++. I think she got hit late after the 4th whistle.
One thing to say about Hardcore, that woman's got opinions about things. Stevie Nixer, again, one of my favorite jammers behind the jammer line. We got LL Cool Jam, also one of my favorite jammers. Hard to pick for both of these teams.
Well, luckily for us as announcers, we're not allowed to pick, so we're going to root for everybody. Or in my case, I root for me.
I'm going to root that Nixer does something crazy again. That's really what I want. Oh, and it's set up beautifully.
Pure insanity.
Stevie Nixer has lead jammer for the Pissahs. She's now in the pack scoring points. LL Cool Jam out for the first time. Nixer and Space Invader. Now that's broken up 4 points red.
And it looks like the Pissahs will run this, but Cosmos blockers do a nice job making it easy. Ooh, Nixer just splitting them.
Truant working as a jammer, giving the business as a blocker, giving Elle some trouble at the front of the pack.
Good call.
An out of play call on neurotic tendency.
Elle picks up her 4 points. Nixer in on her 3rd scoring pass. She's going to pick up 4 more. Looks like another 13-point jam for the Pissahs, bringing that up to 113.
Definitely support the decision by Johnny Cash Machine there to run that one. Johnny Cash Machine about to win another official.
Whatever happened will be considered a normal skating, normal roller derby incident.
And remember, folks, this is a full contact sport. I know you were used to roller derby from the past, where it was a little bit more like WWE. Full contact sport, not unusual to call.
We got Rock and Jackie KO from the jammer line. Couldn't be any more contrast in the stars. Rock picks up the lead jammer for the Pissahs.
After knocking down nearly every Cosmo along the way.
She blocks, she jams, she does it all. She's scoring points here. Johnny Cash Machine's voice through the night, telling her to call it off, picking up her 4-0 jam. 4-2?
We'll see U++ trying to figure out if anyone has been sent off the track to figure out if he's getting a ghost point, I think. We'll see if it's 1 or 2. Yeah, there it is, it's 1. He was just trying to make sure that he got it right. And when a skater is not on the track and one of their teammates is scored on, it is as if they are scored on.
And I'm sure everybody both
points. Up to referees having good eyeballs on the players to let you know how many points he scored.
And that is strange that all points are discretion based. It's very bizarre. Although I suppose refs would say there is no discretion, but then.
Well, Space Invader with a run back. Truant coming up with some speed though.
Picking up lead jammer for the Cosmos.
Front of the pack work by the Cosmos here, led by Nana and Space Invader. Hardcore out for 5. 5 in the sky for Hardcore.
So to your point before,
Nana in the front of the pack.
scoring points in roller derby wouldn't be so complicated if it wasn't for players who are not on the track or not in the pack at the time of the scoring pass. That's when things start to get kind of mucked up. Whether you have to be in the pack or in the engagement zone or in front of the pack.
Live conditions.
It's easy to watch, but the rule set for the referees is incredibly complicated.
That's why I don't ref anymore. It's a lot easier for me to come up here and drink beer and just tell you what I think is happening.
Amazing pass from Hardcore. A little out, a little in, and she's through the pack.
And Space Invader is just going to do it herself. Space has decided she is going to end this game
Hardcore sustains a hit from Paula Fierce. She's looking a little gassed. Look at her bench. He's telling her to run it. This is that long point strategy we were talking about earlier. They are betting that by passing the star to Nana, that they will score more points in the end. 2 star passes from both the Coffee and the Pissahs.
And neurotic tendency forces a track cut.
Definitely happy with herself. You can tell by the self-high five at the back of the pack.
And that one was really, really close. Nestor just hardly came back in. What do we have here? This must have been their legal star pass to begin with. They're going to give it back to the true. Nope, this is now back on slabs. So with Josie Dillon with the star. Don't worry about it, guys. The refs are going to get it right.
There's at least 7 of them out there. We trust them. Pissahs freeze Nana Nestor in the box.
Some of these refs out here on this track have been doing this for a long time, and I know them to be very deep. After being a non-pivot blocker, the pivot strike fell off of her helmet, and so she was no longer allowed to touch the jammer star. Picked it up, illegal procedure penalty. A lot of the really complicated, intricate stuff that we've discussed before.
And now what's happening here is the Pissahs are re-challenging despite the fact that they do not have an official review left. The Pissahs have no way to stop the clock except for calling a timeout here.
I believe that was just a clarification. It's going to be a non-pivot blocker that has to report to the penalty box. So the Pissahs will still have a pivot and a jammer on the track for this next jam.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The jammer for the Pissahs looks like it's going to be the gun show. Shane and Nestor wearing the star for the Cosmos.
Amazing back of the pack work from Rock and Neurotic, being assisted by, I believe, Estrogina Davis.
Shane and Nestor coming around the inside, picks up the lead jammer.
Nana Nestor for lead, showing her jammer pass in that pass. Both teams back to full strength here.
Neurotic tendency.
Looking happy with herself over there. Big hit right before turn 1.
She has really made herself an integral part, a very important part of this Pissahs defense in the last few minutes of this half.
Definitely. Pissahs may not be able to pull this one out, but they're going to remember the Titans on it.
Both teams back to full strength here, 4-4. Cosmos taking the pivot line. Pretty retro of them to take the pivot line.
Interesting, the Cosmos with this guiding blocker into the pack. You can see Archer stepped back next to the Pissahs jammer several times.
Hello, Cool Jam looks like she was just shot out of a cannon.
She does look quick tonight. She looks real quick on her feet.
Tears for Fearsome reporting to the penalty box for the Cosmos.
LL Cool Jam and Stevie Nixer on a jammer race. 4 and 4 points held up for each jammer. Both jammers now into the pack at the same time. It's going to be 3 and 3 on the final pass. Both jammers come out even on that pass. 208 is the score for the Cosmonaughties, 129 for the Pissahs. We have 12 minutes left to play in this game.
Oh, here we have something interesting. Don't worry, folks, one of those scoreboards is out of date. The far scoreboard is not the scoreboard to look at. Look at this near scoreboard where the period clock is running. And that will be a track cut. This is what the Pissahs need right here. They still got time, especially if Neurotic is opening holes that big. What have the Pissahs got left is the question. How much do they have left in the tank? They will need every little bit to pull this game off. Pissahs, like many of the teams in this league, no strangers to comebacks.
Guncho having a tough time getting around that Cosmo defense right now while she is on the power jam.
Yeah, Gun's really, what has she jammed? 18 times, something like that tonight. Has had a very heavy workload. Her legs are on fire right now.
Well, not to mention that she's going up against Fearsome and Space Invader. That's not going to be easy even on the first jam of the night.
And she has lost her outlet of Baby Rock. She can't pass her pivot. And that is another wicked Pissah being sent off. They will start this jam with 2 in the penalty box. King that was Slim hurt, and we'll see when she gets around here. Here we have Truant versus Hardcore.
Looks like we got our second scoreboard back. The one at the stage end of the track is now updated.
Truant's going to get the lead jammer in a 4-on-2. Huge play by Truant. Go ahead and start the MVP chants right now, guys. The ballots are in. What a game by Truant.
Truant goes sliding into the crowd, forced the ball off the jam from her buttocks.
Every time the Pissahs need a big jam, she's just coming up clutch.
It's going to be Stevie Nixer and LL Cool Jam, very familiar faces from the jammer line on this next one.
Playing with fire there with a little bit of pre-jam contact.
Can't blame Stevie Nicks for that pre-jam contact when she's down 2 blockers.
Yep. Can't get too saucy there, but you got a little bit of leeway. Oh, well. That's probably
That's Regina Davis with a nice hit on LL Cool Jam.
Down 2 blockers, still out in lead.
Let's see if Nixer drops the bomb again. He wants to.
Penalty box has cleared. We're back to 5-on-5 as LL Cool Jam is released from the pack. Nixer out in front, picks up her 4 points and calls the jam.
Stevie Nixer choosing to go her own way, winning that jam in a landslide, and then I say.
Truant out here again for the Pissahs, having a very amazing night tonight.
And surely they're going to lean on Truant for these last 6 jams in this bout. Have to imagine she's going to go every other. Here we have the penalty box for apparently posting too much on the Boston Derby Dames forum. She reached her word limit for the day.
Writing too many
Put her away
policies
for a little while.
Maybe she's just too awesome. Celia Castor picks up lead jammer on the inside line.
Picking up an amazing line there. Very smart heads-up awareness for that jammer. Truant, about a half track behind her.
That's too easy. That's way too easy.
Celia Castor with a fantastic 360-degree spin in the middle of the pack. She picks up all 4 points on the pass and calls the jam. We have 5.5 minutes left to play in the game. 2:12 to 146 on the scoreboard. Rock and shove from the jammer line for the Pissahs and hardcore
A big
for the Cosmos.
shout out to Bad Person, managing the unmanageable of the Wicked Pissahs. Former Boston Massacre travel team skater. She's now back with her home team, managing that team.
And she told me earlier she's still single, so boys, have at it.
How many championship rings does Beats have? I think Beats might have more rings than anybody in the league. Probably 2 or 3, right?
Or ladies, to be fair, or ladies have at it.
Sure.
Yes, I apologize.
I changed my mind. Smack clearly has the most rings. She's probably got 5 championship rings. Championship hats, I guess.
Fezzes, golden fezzes.
Doesn't Bad Person look lovely today in that sparkly skirt?
All that glitter, feather earrings, well accessorized looking.
You know what I just noticed? The Pissahs are now wearing racerbacks. When did they switch to the racerback from the like $8 tank top?
I think it was last year under the guidance of Neurotic Tendency. I forget who the co-captain in 2013 was, but it was definitely Neurotic and another Pissah. But last year switched from the American Apparel tank tops to the racerbacks. Love the racerbacks, showing off the muscles all these girls have now.
Yeah, definitely shows off the shoulder muscles, which may be arguably the best muscle. Triceps, Triceps maybe better than shoulders.
I'm a big fan of quads personally, especially in roller derby. Oh, cool jam out for your lead jammer.
An argument can be made for quads. Abs, well, I'm assuming we're excluding abs from the conversation.
We're excluding your abs from the
Well,
conversation.
yeah, that goes without saying.
Now, if only we could get them to skate without helmets so we can see all their beautiful hair flowing in the breeze as they skate around.
Oh, and another, almost a perfectly executed star pass by the Pissahs. Foiled by Manor in space.
Speaking of beautiful hair, LL Cool Jam and her lovely hair flowing in the breeze behind her, she whizzes around the track, coming around for another scoring pass.
And that was a little more resistance there in the back of the path, led by Estrogena Davis and Paula Fierce. But it looks like LL is going to make it out of the path with very little.
Gina did have a good touch there. She had a good stop touch, but she needed a little more help.
Country joining the Cosmo path out of the penalty box.
Manifester, getting it clear. The Pissahs looked to have things under control. No, but a great squeeze. That's a great pinch by the Cosmonaughties. It's them all lining up and pushing it inside. It clears the outside so that L can just release right, go right by.
Cosmos are cracking this one open now. They've been about plus 60 for most of this game, but now they're looking like at about plus 90. Hard for the Pissahs to come back at this point.
Especially with only 2.5 minutes left to play. But that is not an excuse for anybody on this track to ease up or relax or think that they've already finished this game. Everybody's going to give it 110%, as they say, in effort on the track. Julia Casket wearing the star for the Cosmos. Gun show for the Pissahs.
Julia Casket out for league. Captain Skid, like we were talking about earlier, these teams are looking towards playoffs, and the way the Boston Derby Dames work is looking towards the differential. So even though it would be fairly impossible for the Pissahs to come back at this point, they are looking to tighten that differential to better their rankings for the 2014 playoffs.
And it's also really important for these teams to make sure they play all the way through the final whistle. One of the things that almost every roller derby team struggles with is playing a full, strong 60 minutes. Tons of teams can play well for 15, 20, even 40 minutes. Only the very best teams give you 60 full good ones. And you can see that in all these games. You watch a lot of roller derby. At some point, the other shoe drops and one of these teams starts opening things up. The more focused team oftentimes wins.
Baby Rock versus Baby Hardcore. R2 looking to make some kind of offensive clear on the back of the pass. Doesn't work out. Recycles up to the front wall.
Baby Rock.
Love to see
Rock
Baby Rock
again.
as the lead jammer for the Boston Wicked Pissahs. Hardcore chasing her down, checking her skate, looking to score.
There's a good pinch by the Pissahs.
Amazing clear from Stevie Mixer. Gives Baby Rock the last edge of skate that she needs to score a 4-0.
And the Pissahs will call timeout. Johnny Cash Machine is not going to... Intetil almost rolling us with that stopwatch. Truant, does she want one more lead? She does. Can she get there? Truant gives you one more lead jammer.
Fantastic footwork from Truant. She's out, she's lead.
This is an appropriate last jam for Truant. Really, Truant has played unbelievably well tonight. If you're a Wicked Pissahs fan, please give it up for Truant. One of the best games I've seen in a long time for the Boston Derby Dame.
And what could be our very last jam? Make sure you're cheering for your favorite team right now. If you're a Cosmo fan or a Wicked Pissahs fan, show them some love.
Truant shoving off a block from Space Invader. She gets out for another 4 points.
She wants them all, but she doesn't have anything left. Coops. Coops, another one who's had a great game tonight. A lot of good touches.
Big hit on Truant, calling it.
Truant from her knees calls the jam and effectively the game.